All right, guys, this is a little 40mm Viro. These Italian locks are actually made to pretty good tolerances. I pulled out the shims a minute ago intending to show you how to shim it, but this is so tight. I can get a shim in one side, but it won't fit in the other. Even without a shim on the right, I can't get one on the left side. So really tight, good tolerances in this thing. You can see the number of pins here. That last one is to hold the core in place. So you can see it's a 5-pinner, and we got the key. We'll take a look at it in a minute. So not shimmable. Even if you shim one side and then try to wrap on the other side, it's got really strong springs in the locking pawl. So that doesn't work. Likewise, going in from this side, trying to use your knife to bypass it, can't do it because these are all shielded. So all the right stuff went into designing these little Viro locks. This is what the key looks like. Maybe not the greatest key. We do have some highs and lows, bi-pinner, but I'm going to try to rake it here in a sec. I think it's rakeable. One thing about it, when you turn this, watch the spring tension on that shackle. So really strong spring tension, and that would be kind of defeat us when we're trying to use the wrapping technique against this little lock. Also on the core, notice that it is spring loaded, and I don't know if you can hear it. It's not really smooth either. So pay attention to that. That spring on these, at least on this one, does drag quite a bit. So when you're trying to apply the right kind of tension to beat that spring tension while you try to feel what's going on, just be aware that that spring is going to rob you of some of that feedback. All right, let's talk about the keyway. I'm going to hold it in my hand. I'm not going to put it in the vise, and I'm going to use bottom of the keyway. I'm going to try to find the right size. Now, I've got 3 different sizes here. I've got the thick one. Mine are coated red, white, and blue. Red being the thick one. If you take this and slide it in there, right away you can see he's too big. He'll fit, but probably not ideal. So let's reject him. I'm going to grab the blue one next, because I can tell by looking that if I can get the camera to cooperate and get some focus going, when you slide the blue one in there, and you apply that, come on camera, work with me here. There we go. Now notice when I flex it, he kind of turns in there, but the core doesn't turn. In fact, this guy's now wedged in there so tightly, and I'm having trouble getting him out. And he's binding the core with the body of the lock. So in that case, you would know right away. When you flex it, you'll notice that the core doesn't move. It just lodges in there and wedges in place. So get yourself something in between the two, and that would be hopefully this one. Yeah. So now you can see the core moving just a little bit. It's not binding, so he does move. So we're going to go with this guy. All right, let's try something a little different. We said we can rake him. Let's try a different rake. This is from the Tool set. Now this was designed by Christina Palmer, and there's a whole series of these, and this is very much like the worm rake, but we got couple extra humps to deal with. It is a 5-pinner, so I'm going to slide it in there, see if we can get it to work. I chose this one simply because of the size of this keyway. It's a shorter keyway, especially since that tensioner's there. So slide it in, apply moderate tension, and then I'm just going to rake and rock it up and down, see if we can't make this thing work without stabbing myself in the hand. Pretty tight springs on those pins, I have to say. Okay, we didn't get it, so I'm going to recock. It may not be rakeable because those springs really are tight. There we go. It is rakeable. There we go. All right, let's try something different. Because we were able to rake it fairly easily, I didn't feel any fault sets or anything in the process. Let's try. Let me grab a pick here. I'm going to use the standard hook from the Praxis kit, 23 thousandths. Yeah, 23. And I think that'll fit in there. We'll try it. Again, I'm going to use the same tensioner. All right, because I didn't feel any spools or anything in there, I'm going to try to bully it. So I'm going to apply heavy tension to overcome the heavy spring tension of the core. And I'm apply a little more, so super heavy tension. And I'm basically going to try to force those pins. See if I can buffalo this thing, make it open for us. And there we go. No security pins at all. So while it might be made to pretty tight tolerances, I wouldn't be using this Viro to lock up anything too valuable. Anyway, fellas, there you go, the Viro 40mm. Appreciate your time. Stay safe. stay legal.